Welcome in everybody to this week's edition of Valpo Basketball Weekly, sponsored by Tire Barn Warehouse with head coach Mary Evans. Brandon Vickery with you. And coach, we haven't chatted in 2 weeks. Let's go back to the home game against Loyola. What a significant ending. I've been seeing games here at Valpo for a long time, but that's one that I'll never forget. Just how did it all unfold at the end of that game when you pulled out the victory?
It was wild. I think we didn't play really well the majority of the game. I would say probably for about 32 minutes we didn't play really well. And then I thought we kind of woke up a little bit. We started executing better offensively. We had some really good decisions that were made on the bench by my staff to try to do some things there with about 3 minutes to go, pressing and fouling it, that I think put us in a good situation to put them on the line quite a bit late in the game and put the pressure on them to make free throws. And we were fortunate that they didn't. And then we put the ball in Shay's hand, and she really executed, and she got to the rim, and she finished through contact. So really excited for this team, and they never quit, and they always fight, and they got to reap the reward of a really cool comeback.
Then you move on to what's always a very difficult road trip for any team in the conference, going to Iowa, taking on two programs that have been powerhouses over the years in the Valley. And it starts at Drake, and you win 2 of the 4 quarters in the game. And previously in the 6 meetings with Drake since joining the Valley, hadn't led in a game at all. So you can see the progress there. What were some things you liked maybe on Friday?
I loved our aggression in the first and the fourth quarter. I mean, we put up 25 in both of those quarters, so 50 points in 2 quarters against a team that runs a pretty a difficult matchup zone that you have to figure out how to manipulate. And I thought when our team was aggressive, when they were attacking in nature, they did a really good job of manipulating that zone and finishing at the basket and also making their threes. So we had some dry spells in the second and third quarters that I thought was mainly due to a lot of turnovers. 5 straight turnovers to finish the second quarter. Gave them, I think, 3 and 1s on the other end in transition and various things. And I think those things hurt, but we talked about that, and we're going to learn from that and try to be better when we get to play them here in a couple weeks at home.
You go on to UNI and you talk about progress, lost by 21 there 2 years ago, by 19 a year ago. And here it's a 1-possession game late in the game. It ends up being a 7-point margin. But how has the team progressed in terms of facing these tough road environments?
I think they're getting better at it. I think we came out a little sluggish against UNI and had not a great first quarter. Had some things not fall shot wise. Had some calls that didn't go our way, and then in turn didn't defend really well and gave up 20 points. I think after that we kind of settled in to what we wanted to do offensively. We got back to being the more aggressive team, and we played really well for 3 quarters. And again, they never fought. They got down 15 or 16, I think, in the fourth or the end of the third, and they fought back and got it within 3. And we had some opportunities to cut into that, and we just couldn't finish. And hats off to our young ladies. They played heavy minutes all weekend, and they continued to fight until the horn went off. And that's growth. And again, we get to see some things that hopefully we can make some corrections on. And in a couple weeks when we get to play them at home, hopefully we'll have a better performance over a full 4 quarters.
Talked about Grace Hales on our last show, but a significant individual milestone, 1,000 points, and certainly she's meant a lot on the court, but just what has she meant to the program on and off the court?
Obviously, she's a really talented player. She's a great shooter. I think she's worked really hard to add some pieces to her game, playing off the bounce this year. And off the court, she's the ultimate team player. She's a really great person. She does anything and everything that is asked of her by her teammates and our staff. She's super positive, really easy to talk to, and is just, in her way, has been a really good leader for this team. And we love being around her and having her a part of this program.
One great strength of the team of late has been the free throw shooting. Mm-hmm. How have you been able to get it done at the line at such a high clip?
That's all a testament to our young women. We don't spend a ton of time in practice working on free throws, but they get in early, they stay late, they take care of it to make sure that they're confident going to the line and making those shots, and they've done a fantastic job with that this year.
You have 2 teams coming in this weekend that you beat on the road earlier in the season. How do you make sure you take care of business and repeat that success this weekend?
We'll get back to work. We'll take a little bit of downtime today to try to recover, and then we'll get back to work and get our game plan set. And we've just got to come in with the mentality of doing things the correct way and not playing not playing against a jersey. And that's what we talk about all the time. Don't play against a jersey in front of us. Play to our Valpo standard, and we just got to get back to playing to that standard and doing things correctly. And if we do that, we should have a good weekend.
There she is, the head coach of the Valpo women's basketball program, Mary Evans. For all the latest in Valpo women's basketball, follow Valpo Athletics on social media or check out valpoathletics.com. Valpo Basketball Weekly is sponsored by Tire Barn Warehouse. For all major brand tires, wheel alignments, and more, visit Tire Barn at 451 West Northland Drive, Valparaiso. Tire Barn installs more than 3 million tires a year. How about your next set? Visit www.tirebarn.com.